and you are here on our one and all channel Satyam Ideal Learning. Guys, our today's topic is about root pressure. We have already discussed what is the mechanism of transpiration, importance of transpiration. Okay, so we have already discussed these things. So I have told you guys that for the transportation of water and minerals upside through the stem, transpiration pull is necessary. And I have told you that the transport of water and minerals is influenced by two processes. One is transpiration and other is root pressure. So guys, we will be discussing about root pressure. Now what is root pressure? So root pressure is a kind of factor or is a kind of process in which the water and minerals, water dissolved minerals move up through the stem. Okay, so in this kind of it is a factor in which the water dissolved minerals move up through the stem. Okay, and it is necessary when the transpiration is in very low rate or when the in night. Okay, so root pressure is necessary in night and when the transpiration is in the low rate. Okay, so it is important. So root pressure is important in the night and when the transpiration has a very low rate. Okay, now see how the root pressure occurs. The active transport of minerals into root hairs. You know what is active transport? Carrier protein will take minerals from the soil and it will transport it to the cytoplasm of the root hairs. Okay, so the active transport of minerals into the root hairs increase the concentration of minerals. When the active transport will be the active transport will be continuously, then the concentration of minerals will be high in the cells, okay, of root hairs. This promotes cell to cell osmosis. Now when the concentration of minerals is high, now mineral is a solute, so a solvent has to come. In osmosis what happens? Solvent only moves from a higher concentration to a lower concentration. So there will be cell to cell osmosis. The water from the soil will go inside the cell, inside the root hair, and then it will go in cell to cell osmosis will be there and it will go into the root tissues and then it will reach the xylem of the plant and then it will go through the xylem of the tissue. Okay, this is how it is moving now. So this promotes cell to cell osmosis and the entry of more and more H2O. Like this is a xylem vessel. Okay, this is a xylem vessel and these are roots. Okay, now what will happen? The water is coming from there. Now it has come there. Okay, now this is the xylem vessel is there. Now when more and more water will come here, now it has to go up. When there will be more and more water, then the water will go rise slowly, then it will be rising upside. Okay, so when there will be more and more water collected over here, then the water will be going upside. Okay, that is only written. The entry of more and more H2 in xylem vessels creates an upward pressure that pushes the solution of H2O and minerals up through the stem, and that is only called the root pressure. Getting my point? So what happened? Due to the active transport, mineral concentration is more in the root hairs and then there will be cell to cell osmosis. Because a solvent goes from a higher concentration to the lower concentration and then it will go into the root tissues and then the water will go into the xylem vessel, and when the water is collected in the xylem vessel, when more and more water is coming in the xylem vessel, it will create an upward pressure. then the water dissolved minerals will go upside. Okay, this is how, and this is known as root pressure. Clear? Now come on, next one. What is the bleeding? If I give you an activity, you have to take a plant and you have like this way, okay, and this is a soil, this is soil, okay, and this is root and this is stem. Now you have to cut this portion, you have to cut this portion, okay, above, just above the ground level, okay, just above the ground level you have to cut slightly, you have to make a slight cut over there, just above the ground level. And then what you will notice, the water is coming out very forcefully, okay, the water will be coming out. Why the water is coming? Because of the root pressure. What is happening inside? Root pressure is happening, and this phenomena is known as bleeding. So there is written, in some plants it happens. You have to remember this thing also. Sorry, I have not tell you before. In some plants, H2O is released with greater force through the cut end of the stem when it is cut slightly above the ground level, okay, above the ground level. This is caused by root pressure. Root pressure is occurring and the water is coming, and when you will cut here, then the water will go, then the water will come outside. So this is how it is going on. So this is caused by root pressure and the phenomena is called bleeding. Okay, this is clear. Now see, root pressure is sufficient for plant, for short plant. Okay, root pressure is sufficient for short plant in order to pushing water and minerals to its top branches, to its topmost branches. If there is a small plant and if the water and minerals has to go at the topmost branch, then root pressure is sufficient, okay. But in tall plants, in tall trees, root pressure is not sufficient. Transpiration pull and root pressure, transpiration pull along with root pressure will occur, and then the water and minerals will go to a topmost branch. Getting my point? So I am repeating once more. In small plants, root pressure is sufficient, is only sufficient for taking the water and minerals upside topmost branch of that plant, okay. But in tall plants, root pressure is not only sufficient, root pressure along with the transpiration pull is going to take the water dissolved minerals to the topmost branch of that tree or that tall plant, okay. So I think you must have been clear about this root pressure very clearly. So thank you guys, we'll meet the next time very soon. Bye bye.